Donald Trump has just hit a new milestone, and it is really not a good one for him. It's maybe good for people who believe in better governance, but it's not good for Trump. A new poll shows that 40% approve of Trump's job performance and 58% disapprove. That is minus 18 for Donald Trump. Among independents, only 27% approve, 63 disapprove. That is a number. This is not theory. Oh, it's a number. What does it mean? This has real consequences. When a president is this deeply unpopular, things break down very quickly. Number one, Congress turns into a battlefield. Members of the president's own party worry about their seats, especially with the midterms coming up. They distance, they block legislation, they hedge every vote. We're starting to see that. We're not going to let Trump take Greenland. We think Trump's going too far here. He's going too far there. Number two, it gets really hard to govern when you are this unpopular because forget about big reform. You just can't do it. Budgets get very chaotic. Foreign policy credibility drops. Allies and adversaries see weakness and instability. And then number three, midterms are sort of always a referendum on the party that took power 2 years before. But it gets extra dicey if the president is this unpopular. And we've seen this before. Obama was in the low 40s before the 2010 midterms, and Democrats lost the House and lost it pretty badly. Biden was in the low 40s before 2022's midterms, and Democrats lost the House and barely held the Senate. Bush's approval, George W. Bush's approval, collapsed after Iraq and after Katrina, and Republicans got crushed in 2006. Low approval doesn't guarantee a wipeout, but it is definitely a big warning. And Trump is in the danger zone. The scariest number here is not that Democrats disapprove. We know Democrats disapprove. Democrats don't like Trump. They think he's a disaster. It's the independents. The independents at 27% approval is really a catastrophic number for a party heading into the midterms because independents decide swing districts disproportionately. Why? Independents are the most likely to vote for one party or the other, although it's sort of a myth. Most independents do mostly vote for Republicans or mostly vote for Democrats. I'm an independent, for example. I vote for very few Republicans. If you look at my voting record, there's been very few Republicans I voted for. But the point here is midterms tend to have lower turnout. And so if you say lower turnout means those who do vote have greater power, lower turnout also means that those who at least are open to voting for Democrats or Republicans hold disproportionately more sway over the outcome in those swing districts. And there are close Senate races that independents could also end up really being a big part of determining which way is this going to go. And remember that Donald Trump is the face of the Republican Party. Every race in 2026 is in a sense nationalized, and it is in a sense a referendum on Donald Trump. Candidates are going to be asked very similar questions. Do you approve of Donald Trump? Whether you're in the Arkansas 5th District or Illinois 8th or wherever, swing districts, lopsided districts, do you approve of the job that Donald Trump is doing if you're a Republican? And if the answer is no, I don't approve, maybe the voters like that, but Trump doesn't. And then Trump goes after you. Anyway, the point here is polls aren't destiny. Trump has defied polls before sometimes. Partisanship keeps the floor high because so many voters are highly partisan. No matter what Trump does, even as he has said, shooting someone on Fifth Avenue, his level of support won't drop below a certain level. But all of that being said, 58% disapproval is not a vibe problem. That is a structural problem for Donald Trump. And if these numbers hold, it's not just going to be unpopular Trump going into the midterms. It is going to be unpopular Trump dragging his own party to the meat grinder in the midterms. Now, all of this, you might say, David, you're sounding a little too confident. All of this is only if the left activates, chooses good candidates in the primaries, and gets out to vote. And we know that turnout is often lower in midterms. What we have going for us is that the out party, even though turnout is lower in midterms, the out party is usually a little more motivated to get out and vote. And because Democrats do not control the White House, nor the House, nor the Senate, it is conceivable that Democrats and left-leaning independents like me will be more eager to vote. And turnout really is potentially the difference maker here. So we are going to follow this very closely. But these numbers so far, a disaster for Donald Trump. Thanks for watching. Check out another one of our videos and make sure to subscribe so YouTube keeps our content in your feed. And if you prefer audio, subscribe to the podcast on Spotify or Apple.